It's another WRAL weather alert day. We have a pair of fronts that will bring the potential for flooding rains today. We have some new model data in. I'm going to walk you through that with Futurecast coming up.
And more in the WRAL Storm Tracker this morning, giving you a preview of your morning commute. Coming up, a live look at road conditions on the Beltline.
A police chase ends with a car being pushed into a garage door in a Wake Forest home. Coming up, I'll tell you everything we know so far.
A historic address from President Biden in his first appearance since dropping out of the race.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
More from his historic speech and the message former President Trump is sharing with his supporters here in North Carolina at that rally in Charlotte. A lot to tell you about here on this Thursday morning. We are keeping the torch. Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, very appropriate with one day to go until
Olympics,
that torch just lights the flame and off we go. We'll have a live report straight ahead on that. But first, the fourth day in a row of this weather alert day. And Amy Wilmington, WRAL Severe Weather Center, with where those threats are right now.
We have the flood watch that remains in effect for the area through the day today. We also have, this is new this morning, a level 1 risk for a good part of the area from around the triangle and points to the southeast. The biggest threat will be some damaging winds that might take down some of those weaker trees from all of the rain that we've had over the last 7 days. We've had 7 days in a row with rain. We have scattered showers moving through the area. No warnings right now, not seeing any lightning, but we certainly have some heavier pockets of rain that will impact the morning commute. Right now, some of that heavier rain just moving into Person County, south of downtown Roxborough, Hillsborough getting some rain right now. Chapel Hill, you just had a wave of rain move through. Same thing in Durham. And then down to the south, we have some heavier rain as well in southern Johnston County, Wayne County, down into Sampson County, getting some pockets of heavy rain as well. Futurecast. So this is some new model data. I want to show you this. It looks like we're going to have some rain for the morning commute, likely widespread rain, probably not severe storms, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get some flood advisories, maybe some flash flood warnings if that rain comes down heavy enough. Here's 11 o'clock this morning. It's not as widespread as the previous model run, but we still have that activity at 1 o'clock, at 3, 4 o'clock, but it starts to taper off for the evening commute. This is a live look at downtown Raleigh. It's certainly wet down there. They've had waves of rain, 76, the current temperature. We'll have showers and some storms on and off throughout the day. The best chance will be during the morning and during the afternoon. Stays cool, though, with highs near 80, Ken.
And Amy, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We just had a crash that cleared on I-40 eastbound near South Saunders Street. The tow truck just pulled away that car just a minute ago. You see Raleigh police officers there wrapping up that scene. I want to remind you that whenever you see a crash this morning, particularly because you're going to be on some of these wet roads, definitely try to move over one lane. That's a North Carolina law to give law enforcement officers an opportunity to work those crash scenes safely. We're looking at these wet road conditions that we're waking up to this morning all over the triangle, and that's why you see so much green on the map this morning. I want to give you a live look now over in Durham. This is I-85 and TW Alexander Drive. You see some damp road conditions. Traffic definitely will be picking up this morning, so keep that in mind. We do have the WRAL Storm Tracker out this morning. Kelsey Coffey will be giving us a real closer look at the Beltline. Kelsey, what are you seeing at this point?
Ken, we're seeing some more rain than what we did in the last half hour. So let's give you a live look now at road conditions. So you can see some of that rain coming down. 7 days of rain in a row. The fourth weather alert day that we've had in a row. So our meteorologist team says that we've had more than 7 inches of rain at RDU this month. That's nearly 4 more inches than normal. We'll give you another look at road conditions this morning so you can see how wet these roads are, really slick. So give yourself a little bit of extra time in your morning commute. And really, when we see this much rain in such a short amount of time, we're looking out for trees falling. We haven't heard of any reports of that, but we're definitely going to be keeping an eye out on that this morning. So be careful out there on the roadways. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Breaking news this morning. Authorities say a police chase ended with a car crashing into a house near Wake Forest. Officers are on the scene of that crash right now on Barnes House Court. That's in between Roseville and Wake Forest. Nick Perlin is there in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. And Nick, you were there when the tow truck got on scene.
Renee, about 20 minutes ago, the tow truck actually just left with one of the trucks that was involved in this chase. I want to step out of the way and show you what's left, though. This is a car that was hit by the truck that was towed away just now, and you can see it hit into the garage door here, and it smashed the garage door, and it's knocked off of its hinges there. And I want to show you some of this video that we captured earlier this morning, and you can see the truck that I'm talking about here. You can see it crashed up against this Tahoe here, pushing that Tahoe into the garage door. Now, this chase did start in Rollsville, and it ended in this neighborhood here in Wake County. But the big question we're asking Rollsville police this morning is what happened to the driver? They couldn't find him. He wasn't on scene when they arrived, so we're still trying to ask if they have any information on where the driver could be this morning. As we continue to gather more information, I'll be sure to update you. Live in Wake County, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
With brand new information while you were sleeping, just before 1 o'clock this morning, State Highway Patrol released the names of the 5 people who were killed in this fiery crash on I-95. The driver of the tractor trailer that authorities say started this crash is now facing 5 misdemeanor counts of death by motor vehicle. The crash happened just before 2 Wednesday afternoon on I-95 northbound near the Wilson-Johnston County line. Troopers say while traffic was merging for a lane closure, a tractor trailer failed to slow down. It plowed into cars that were slowing down, and then it jackknifed and caught on fire. 3 people in one car died, identified as Edward and Martha Davis of Greenville, Linda Whitehurst of Robertsonville. 2 people died in another car. They were identified as William and Elizabeth Tucker of Georgia. The driver of the tractor trailer is 51-year-old Charles Haskell. He's from Las Vegas. He's being held in the Wilson County Jail on $25,000 bond.
Atlantic Avenue in Raleigh is back open after a crash that left a motorcyclist seriously hurt. The road reopened around 2 this morning. It was closed for more than 5 hours after the crash happened just after 8:30 near Highwood Boulevard. Raleigh police say the rider was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. We're working to learn what led to the crash.
Happening today, state Democratic leaders will come together to promote Vice President Kamala Harris's bid for president. Governor Roy Cooper will be among the speakers, highlighting Harris's vision for the future in contrast to former President Trump's agenda. Today's news conference starts at 10 this morning in downtown Raleigh.
2 people are in the hospital with serious injuries after a crash on Lake Wheeler Road in Raleigh. It happened just before 11 last night between Tryon Road and Mid Pines Road. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was there during our 11 o'clock news. Investigators say the car ran off the road, hit a pole and 2 mailboxes before it then hit a tree. Troopers believe speed and alcohol are factors. Charges are pending.
Former President Donald Trump is portraying Kamala Harris as an extreme leftist as his campaign pivots toward the new challenger. Trump brought that message to Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte last night. It was his first campaign rally since President Biden dropped out of the race. Trump called Harris a liar and criticized her for the state of the southern border.
What kind of a vice president or what kind of a border czar allows these monsters to come into our country?
Trump also highlighted a number of Republican candidates for office this fall, including outgoing North Carolina State House Speaker Tim Moore, who is running for Congress.
In his first public speech since dropping out of the 2024 race, President Joe Biden called on the American people to protect democracy. Biden delivered his address last night from the Oval Office. He said he decided it was time to pass the torch to a younger generation and help unite the country.
I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition.
Biden did not mention former President Trump by name in his 11-minute speech. He praised Vice President Kamala Harris, calling her experienced, tough, and capable.
Good morning. I'm here in the WRAL Live Center. This is Chris Levigan speaking. Looking at what we're seeing with the stock market, the S&P and NASDAQ actually had its worst day since 2022, according to CNBC. We're talking about tech slides that have been happening with those stocks. This is a look at the futures this morning. You'll see the S&P down 11.25 and NASDAQ down 70. But the Dow Jones, some improvement overnight with 10 points up. Now, this is how things are looking right now. As you may recall, that President Biden gave his speech last night, and sometimes that can affect how people are investing. And just one more thing here. If you go to WRAL.com, you can actually look at our NC Market Watch to kind of see how things are going with IBM, Duke Energy, and other companies that are there as well.
Thanks, Chris. After months of buildup, we are just a day away from the opening ceremony for the Olympics. After the break, NBC News' Jay Gray joins us live from Paris with what to expect during the Summer Games.
And we're learning more about the attempted assassination on former President Donald Trump, what the FBI director is sharing about the shooter. And meteorologist Amy Wilmoth tracking showers moving through the area right now.
Right, it's another weather alert day, fourth in a row. We have widespread rain getting a little bit of a break in the triangle, but it's likely to fill back in. I'll show you the hour-by-hour forecast and how much rain we could get coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
We have another weather alert day in place for the potential for some heavy rain. A good part of the triangle getting a little bit of a break right now, but we have some hot spots where we have some heavier rain, and that's in our northern counties. Roxborough getting some of that heavier rain. It's moving over into Granville County. That's where we have some heavy rain. No lightning. We don't have any warnings right now, but expect it to be a little bit slow getting into work, especially if you get under one of these pockets of heavier rain. Just to the east and southeast of Smithfield, Goldsboro has some heavy rain with more headed in your direction. Clinton, you now have some light rain in the area. We've had so much rain in the last 7 days that any rain that falls today will likely run off into the roads, and we have a good chance for rain through the morning, through the afternoon, tapering off during the evening.
And Amy, all that rain means a lot of wet road conditions all around the triangle this morning, all the major routes in the Beltline, I-540. A lot of you take I-440 as an alternate route. The good news is 87, all those routes are delay-free this morning. We're looking at Durham and Chapel Hill. All those routes in Durham and Chapel Hill are delay-free. We're talking about I-8, 85, and I-40 as well. We do have the WRAL Storm Tracker out this morning. The Storm Tracker is working I-40 and the Beltline this morning, giving you a closer look at what to expect. You can see the windshield wipers going this morning. This is important for us. The Storm Tracker will be out the rest of the morning, so you will know what to expect when you head out.
Raleigh city officials are working on ways to improve water safety at the Neuse River after the fourth reported drowning there in the last 2 months. Deputies found the body of a man yesterday who disappeared in the river on Tuesday. Sky 5 was over the scene near Loch Raven Parkway and Old Milburnie Road where this happened. City officials say they are working with Wake County and the town of Knightdale to determine next steps.
FBI Director Christopher Wray continues to provide new details about the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. WRAL's Michelle McConaughey has what was revealed in Wray's congressional testimony. Michelle.
Yeah, Jeff, Wray spoke with lawmakers on Capitol Hill yesterday, and we're learning a lot about the shooter, Thomas Crooks, and the timeline of events leading up to July 13th. Before the shooting, Crooks researched President John F. Kennedy's assassination and looked up, quote, how far away Oswald was from Kennedy. Crooks also flew a drone about 200 yards from the main stage area hours before Trump took the stage. Wray also confirmed that Crooks bought 50 rounds of ammunition on the day of the shooting and that he may have had a collapsible stock, which would explain why witnesses did not see him walking around with a weapon. And speaking of the weapon, Crooks didn't buy it.
About the purchase of the firearm, I'm told that the father purchased the firearm in 2013, so quite a while ago, and then he sold it to his son in October of 2023.
Investigators have also gone through the shooter's phone. They've gone through his computer and his home. They've also interviewed his family and friends, but have struggled to identify what motivated him in that attack. Former President Trump has called for Wray's resignation as director.
The wait is almost over. The opening ceremony of the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris is tomorrow. Right now, final preparations are happening for that dramatic ceremony on the River Seine. It promises to be très magnifique. NBC's Jay Gray joins us live from Paris this morning. And Jay, since we all can't be in Paris there for the Olympics, we will live vicariously through you. Bonjour.
Oh, bonjour, Renee. It's so great to talk to you this morning. It's going to be a fun few weeks here with a look at all of Team USA's gear and some of the other countries as well. The equipment, technology, athletes are hoping can help them to win the gold here and bring it home. But we've also got a pretty big Olympic team here at NBC. And this is the initial launch of what is just an overwhelming undertaking for an Olympic broadcaster. We will have more hours of Olympic coverage than you've ever seen before. 7,000 hours of Olympic coverage, 5,000 of that streaming. I think it's interesting because since we're on the European time plan here, most of the games will be over with by primetime. That gives a great opportunity to have a show where not only do you get the best of the highlights, the best of the competition, but then you can enhance that with some of the different cameras, some of the information and stats that you wouldn't normally get in a live broadcast. I think it is going to be great. And if you want to watch it live, of course, it's across all the platforms of NBC as well as streaming. It's also an opportunity to really test technology, because what we have here is about 1,200 people working out of Paris, but they are linked with 1,800 working in Connecticut at NBC Sports Olympic headquarters. So it is amazing to see all of this unfold, and we're going to make sure you don't miss a second of the action. Should be a lot of fun.
We are looking forward to your reports. Jay Gray reporting live from Paris. The Today Show will be live in Paris for the opening ceremony tomorrow. Savannah and Hoda broadcast will be there with a special preview to the big kickoff to the games. Today will be your home for coverage of the Olympics each weekday at 7 right here on WRAL.
And just when the Olympics start, things will just start to brighten up around here as we head towards the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, getting better each day. But Amy Wilmington and the WRAL Severe Weather Center still need to get past today, early, and tomorrow as well.
That's right. It's another weather alert day. It's the fourth in a row, and we've only done that 2 times, had 4 days in a row of weather alert day. So this is pretty rare for us to do that. But we're doing that again today because we expect flooding rains. We have 2 fronts in the area. This one is the one that's been stuck over us, bringing rain for days. This one is going to push that one away from us, and we'll have some drier weather for the upcoming weekend. So pretty good timing for that. But we do have some rain for the morning commute. Right now, a good part of the triangle getting a little bit of a break. We have a little bit of a dry slot here, which is really good for the morning commute. That could fill in, though. We're starting to see some more activity starting to develop down to the south and west. We'll keep you posted on if that fills in and heads toward the triangle. Right now, our northern counties getting some of that heavier rain. Granville County, the northern half of the county, getting some heavy rain. Roxborough had some heavier rain move through. In Johnston County, it's the eastern part getting some heavy rain. Moving into Wayne County, Goldsboro getting some heavy rain. Clinton's had some heavy rain at times as well. This is a live look at our southeast Wake County camera, and it's very gray outside, very gloomy outside, and we've had waves of rain moving through. So we'll have some periods of heavy rain. Plan for some extra time for the morning commute. Watch out for some hydroplaning. Midday, we're going to have some periods of heavy rain as well. The rain not likely to be as widespread for the evening commute. Things are going to start to settle down the second half of the day. So here's a look at Futurecast. We expect rain for the morning commute, wet roads, so we'll probably have some trouble spots. Ken's keeping a close eye on that, and we have Storm Tracker out as well. As we head toward 11 a.m., we'll have scattered showers, maybe a little bit of a break in the northwestern half of the area. By the time we get to 1 o'clock, we'll have some scattered showers and a few storms. And then as we head into the evening, again, as I mentioned, it's going to start to taper off a little bit. But the flood watch remains in effect. An additional 1 to 3 inches of rain will be possible over the next couple of days. So any additional rain that falls, a lot of that's going to wash out into the roads because we've just had so much. And if we get some gusty winds, we have a level 1 risk for severe storms. That could take down some of these weaker trees because of the saturated ground. We're watching out for that in case we have some power outages. Temperatures are in the 70s for the most part. Dew points in the 70s, so it is sticky. If you want to do some exercise, you might want to opt for the gym today. We'll have waves of rain and storms through the day. It's not as hot there with a high of 80. One more day of some storms before the nice weather arrives for the weekend. It's going to be dry Saturday and Sunday, but we're back to some storms Monday, Ken.
All right, Amy. be happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center as we continue to monitor these wet road conditions. You see all this green on the map. That shows you that you are, wherever you are this morning, you are definitely waking up to those wet road conditions. So definitely, if you're thinking about heading out this morning, you definitely want to absolutely give yourself some extra time this morning because you're going to need it. And this is also a good reminder. We just had a crash that just cleared on I-40 eastbound near South Saunders Street. To make sure if you see a crash to move over one lane, it's part of the law to give law enforcement officers an opportunity to work the crash scene safely. All the major routes into the capital city this morning are delay-free at this hour. Over in Durham, similarly, all the major routes into the Bull City, virtually very little to no delay this morning. We also have the WRAL Storm Tracker out this morning. The Storm Tracker will be working the roads in Wake County on the Beltline, I-40 this morning, because those are really some busy spots this morning, and we're going to make sure that you know exactly what's going on. See, the windshield wiper is going intermittently there this morning, and traffic has definitely picked up, and we'll keep you posted here in the WRAL Traffic Center.
Thanks, Ken. Delta Airlines says its flight schedule is finally back to normal after thousands of cancellations over the past week. The message from Delta CEO as federal investigators are looking into the airline.
J-Lo's 55th birthday takes her to Bridgerton. Her lavish party inspired by the hit show coming up in What's Trending.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
J-Lo took it back to the 1800s for her lavish 55th birthday party. The theme was, what else? Bridgerton.
I wish I got an invite. Ken Smith is here now with What's Trending.
Oh, yeah, I got an invite. Well, in my head. J-Lo shared an Instagram reel showing us all the pomp and circumstance from her bash in the Hamptons. It included a live orchestra, ballroom dancing, and plenty of other touches right out of Bridgerton.
Oh, she was even sitting on a throne like Queen Charlotte. It's worth noting her husband, Ben Affleck, was not there. There have been rumors that they are headed for Splitsville.
Oh, no. All right, let's talk more about Hollywood. Timothée Chalamet channeling Bob Dylan in the new trailer for A Complete Unknown.
I stumbled on the side of 12 misty mountains.
Chalamet sings Dylan's song A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall in the trailer. The movie is scheduled to come out in December, which should position Chalamet and that film to get some Oscar buzz.
We will see how that plays out. Certainly how this goes. It's a hard voice to replicate, as you might know, with all the nasally kind of sounds, but he does a great job with it. Edward Norton's in this film as well.
Yeah, looks like it'll be a great film. Ken, thank you. Much more news to come on WRAL.
And we have another WRAL weather alert day. Heavy rain could lead to some flooding today. We also have a severe risk. More storms Friday, but then good timing. It's quieter for the weekend. But coming up, we're going to talk about how much additional rain we could get.
A police chase ends with a car being crashed into a driveway in a Wake County home. Coming up, we'll tell you everything we know from the scene.